Hey guys, all right. Finally, really starting to feel back in the swing here. Managed to make a couple trades today, and also today was the FOMC Fed meeting on whether they were going to raise or drop or keep rate hikes neutral. In the States, it has a big impact on gold directly and the USD JPY. So I'm going to cover that in the end, but these are the two trades that I made this morning. The first one was ESES. I saw it on the pre-market scanner. Looked like it was taking a nice little run up here, gapped up in the morning, and then made a run up in a high of 208. This is on the 1 minute time frame. Intraday, just so you guys can kind of follow along to what I was watching for a setup out of the gate. So then we kind of sold off here and then put in a couple of tops here at 185 and then sold off right into the open. Came down here and found a floor of 162, and then we started to move up, and I was looking for an entry over 185. I had a buy stop limit set at 185 with trigger. The trigger was 185 with a limit of 186. I wanted to get some confirmation, and for me, my stop loss would have been 175. So I would have just taken a 10-cent stop loss, not really basing it off any support or resistance levels. Just looking for a jump in on the momentum out of this kind of red to green move, and take off and see where it goes. So I got long, saw some nice volume push come in here. The RSI started making a nice climb, because after the dump, it was actually reaching oversold territory. So it was nice to see a little push, and I kind of was watching these three indicators right away, and we saw it come right up here, popped over this 1 minute candle, closed over top of the three moving averages, and then as soon as the next one opens, we opened at 181, and we pushed up right away. I got long, and I saw a nice little wall on the level 2, kind of around this 197, 196 resistance. I remember seeing it was pretty heavy, actually. I think it was coming into this $2 as well, but it was a little bit under $2. So I just hit the bid. Actually, no, sorry, I was on the ask. I was following the ask, and I hit the ask, and I jumped out at 195 for a total of $30 minus commission. So it was a quick little trade, quick little scalp, and I'm really glad I got in and got out when I did, because look at it, came back up, and it couldn't make a new high. Again, it tested, and then it came back down here and sold off, and as soon as it broke down under these three moving averages, it was kind of trapped by the 9 EMA, tried to reclaim the 20 EMA here, but really couldn't get it, and came down here to a low 151, and I'll just show you the rest of the day. It really didn't do anything, and it sold off, and it actually gave back pretty much all of the previous gap up gains from the pre-market. So yeah, nice little trade there. Wasn't a big winner, but it was nice to hit it. My second trade was PIRS. Unfortunately, this was a losing trade. I missed the big move, actually, and it's hard when you miss a big move because you want to kind of get back in. So had some Bollingers set up here on the 1 minute. We made a nice big move out of $3 up to 370, and this had some good news came out. I can't remember what the catalyst was. One of the guys in our small caps channel, in the Chart Guys chat room, they were talking about it, Tony, and he had mentioned the catalyst. So me and him were both following this, and we kind of watched this move, this push up here, that wanted to get up into this $4 range, but really couldn't get past this 390 mark. Came down here, put in a bottom, a couple bottoms here at 366. Looks like a triple bottom, and so I actually got long on this. I was watching the 5 minute. Let me switch over to 5 minute here. I was watching. Oh, sorry. So I was watching the 5 minute setup on this one, and this was right here. So we were over a couple moving averages. We had a floor of this one on this candle, 366. So I wanted to get long actually for the break of this candle here at 375, and that's exactly what I did. As I had a set trigger set for 375 with a fill at 376, I think, like that, and it filled at 375 for some reason, popped up, and just got rejected instantly, and then came down to sell off. I jumped out at 365 as soon as I saw this 366 break. Sure enough, it came down here, it broke into these moving averages, and then it broke down at a couple of them underneath the middle Bollinger Band, and that was it. It was pretty much done for the day. It popped up. No, it actually came up and made a move back into $4. Sorry, that's right. I just stopped watching it after this. So yeah, $30 loss on that one. Again, it was 300 shares, not the end of the world. Nice to get back into trading, nice to make 2 trades in the day. So then my next setup, I stopped watching that because I really wanted to get into JNUG, which we just went through a reverse split. JNUG is a fan favorite of mine. It makes big moves during the Fed meetings. And you know, I've seen this thing rocket off. I've missed it this and the last Fed meeting. I'm really beat up about this. So here we are. I have a small account, so this is a $17, $16 stock. It was hanging around at $16.50 when I was watching it around here, kind of consolidating in the $16.50 range. And then it started climbing up, and this was kind of me knowing that whatever Fed meeting news was kind of getting priced in a little bit, but I still was in denial, and I really didn't want to take a position before the announcement. This is my 3rd time playing this or being exposed to this sort of Fed meeting gold reaction from the market, and I really know that you need to set your buy stop limit and let it take your trade, and then focus on and jumping out, right? Because this is a 50-50. Depending on what they say, you're either going up or down. So I play it on the bull side because I'm not ready to play it on the short side. I'm sure in the future I will be. So I was watching it here, 1680s. I was watching over the 1680s, and I kept moving my buy stop limit up as the high of day went up. And all I was concentrated on was a break of the high of day. So I got into this kind of $17 range, and I had I think the high was at the time 1705. So I had a buy stop limit, I believe it's 1706 with a trigger at 1707. We ended up selling off here just before the announcement for the meeting, and I had a couple of limit orders ready to get in this trade for the break of high a day. What happened was it sold off, so I was like, all right, that's it, it's done. So I canceled my order. Then I saw it coming back up here. I think it was around 156, 157 or something like that at the time, and so I put my buy stop limit order back on, and then it was on this candle here. This one totally faked me out. Then I got the tweet. It told me the rate was going to be unchanged. I was watching Bloomberg Live TV. They also said the rate was unchanged. Some people started chatting. I saw this big drop sell off here. I didn't wait for the candle to close on the 1 minute, so I canceled my order. I thought, okay, we saw this dump, small recovery, and then this dump. I just thought, you know what, this is it. And little do I know, this actually ended up putting in a double bottom and breaking out, and this was it. Look at this move. It came up here, it opened at 1684, and it launched to 1765 for a high on a 1 minute candle. My buy stop limit was originally set at $17.06 with a trigger at limit at 1707. You know, I probably would have taken down 30, 40, 50 cents on this, but here's the catch. I only had 90 shares. So 90 shares, you know, you need a dollar move to make $90 minus commission. So it really wasn't going to be a big winner. This was more about getting a green trade out of this, but I kind of fumbled it and I missed out on it. So again, it was another great experience to the Fed meeting, and I just feel that these meetings are so many times a year and they affect gold prices so directly that I'm just going to keep watching these meetings and just getting better and better at it. And one day, you know, I'm hopefully going to be able to jump in here with 1,000 shares and catch a nice dollar move like this in 1 minute. The nice thing about the buy stop limit, like I said on this, is you want to place it above the high of day. So that way, if the market reacts the way you want it to these meetings, it will grab your order and go. Now, JNUG and JDST run inverse of each other, so you could play JDST on the other side because it will move to the bullish side depending on a bearish outlook or a hawkish outlook on the rate change. So a couple of ways to look at it. I'm always available if you got any questions about these things. This is all some stuff that, you know, this is self-taught stuff that I've just learned about the Fed meeting and how gold and the USD JPY are affected by it, and how US dollar traded commodities are affected by these rate hikes. So, you know, this is just progressive learning, and every time I get a chance to kind of track or try and get in one of these trades on this Fed meeting, I will take it, and especially leading up to it. I'm just going to go show you quickly the 1 day on JUNG. So right here, ignore this. This is a reverse split. that had happened, and this is why these prices look all wild like this. This is not actually $1,000 stock. It is subject to reverse split adjusted. So you can see that we are starting to get a sell-off, not only because the reverse split was coming, but in my opinion, we were starting to get this sell-off because some of this news was getting baked into everyone was planning for this rate hike to happen, and when the rate was unchanged today, that's when we saw the little launch. But the market took over and realized, you know what, it's not that important, and JNUG ended up falling from this nice high of 1765 and took a relatively $2 loss on the day. Came and closed right down here by the low of day. So I'll probably won't look or play this for a while. I'll let these numbers kind of settle out and come down, and hopefully I'll get back into it. So anyways, those are the three kind of trades and things I was looking at today. 2 trades I made, 1 I missed out on. Again, if you enjoy my videos, like and subscribe to the channel. We've also got a new Facebook group started up. It's called the Chart Guys or TCG FlightSchool. Feel free to drop us a line on there. Myself or Jordan always have answers, or will find answers to your questions, and we're always interested in making videos and stuff like that, and putting up content. So yeah, all right guys, have a good night, and looking forward to doing some trading tomorrow. Okay, bye.